The Roaring Twenties ended in a crash heard around the world. A collapse of prosperity that didn't just rattle stock markets, it shattered the very fabric of global trust. Nations, desperate to save themselves, turned inwards, devaluing their currencies in a brutal race to the bottom, crippling trade, and sowing the seeds of conflict. This wasn't just an economic downturn, it was a prelude to war.
The Second World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and horror, taught humanity a terrible lesson. Peace wasn't just about borders and armies. It was about shared prosperity, about a global economy that didn't devour itself. As the war raged, even as cities burned, a small group of visionary leaders began to imagine a new world order, one built not on retribution, but on economic cooperation. They dreamt of an institution that could prevent the financial chaos that had fueled the fires of war. The year was 1944. Allied victory was in sight, but the future of the global economy was anything but clear. Secluded amidst the mountains of New Hampshire, at a grand hotel in Bretton Woods, a gathering of the world's brightest minds convened. Their mission, to design a new financial architecture from the ashes of the old. This wasn't just a conference, it was a foundational moment for the modern world. At the heart of these deliberations were two titans, the brilliant British economist, Maynard Keynes, and the formidable American Treasury official, Dexter White. Keynes, haunted by Europe's interwar strife, proposed a truly revolutionary idea, a global central bank, creating its own international currency, the Bancor, to ensure balanced trade and stability. Dexter White, representing the emerging superpower, America, had a more pragmatic and ultimately more successful plan. He envisioned a system anchored by the mighty U.S. dollar, itself pegged to gold. The U.S., with its vast gold reserves, would be the guarantor of global financial stability. It was a testament to American economic power and a blueprint for a new dollar-centric world. The agreement forged at Bretton Woods was a delicate compromise, but a powerful one. It established a system of fixed exchange rates, where currencies were pegged to the U.S. dollar, and the dollar itself was convertible to gold at a fixed price. And at its core, born out of this historic summit, was the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. Its original mandate, to act as a short-term lender, providing financial breathing room to nations facing temporary balance of payments, deficits, all to maintain this fragile, fixed exchange rate system. The IMF wasn't designed to be a global policeman, but rather a guardian, a financial safety net. If a nation's currency came under pressure threatening its peg, the IMF would step in, offering crucial loans, preventing the kind of domino effect that had plagued the 1930. For over 2 decades, it worked. Global trade flourished, reconstruction efforts gained momentum, and a sense of stable prosperity began to take root. The financial empire had begun, built on a foundation of gold and the promise of the American dollar. But even the most carefully constructed empires eventually faced their challenges. The very strength of the U.S. dollar, so central to the system, became its undoing. Lavish government spending on the Vietnam War and ambitious social programs at home, coupled with a growing global economy, meant more dollars were circulating worldwide than America had gold to back. The system was stretching to breaking point. On the 15th of August, 1971, President Richard Nixon delivered a bombshell. Citing speculative attacks on the dollar, he unilaterally announced that the United States would no longer convert dollars to gold. The Bretton Woods system, the bedrock of global finance for a quarter century, was dead. The fixed exchange rates dissolved, and currencies began to float freely. The IMF, the guardian of that old stability, had lost its primary purpose. The anchor of the global economy was gone. Yet, this institution, born from chaos, would not disappear. It would merely transform, emerging with an even wider, more powerful mandate to impose its will on the economies of sovereign nations across the globe. The age of financial stability had ended, and the age of financial power had begun. If you found this history insightful, please like and subscribe for the next part of our series on the IMF. Tell us in the comments, do you think the world needs a single gold-backed currency again, like Keynes's Bancor? Or was Nixon right to end the Bretton Woods system?